Good morning, everyone. Here we are again for another edition of Ball Cap Bible Study. My name is Wade Cruz. I'm rocking the Polo Bear today, and we're going to be talking about what do you do when you come across people who disagree, don't receive your message, don't receive your countenance, your lifestyle, that kind of thing. I'm the pastor for senior adults at Quail Springs Baptist Church, and it's my honor to do Ball Cap Bible study for you and with you every Monday. We're walking through Acts. We're going to slow down. We're going to pump the brakes a little bit, and we're going to go slowly through chapter 4. We'll just do a few verses today. I'm trying to make these shorter. They seem to get more views when they're shorter. Please pass these along, share these, let people know. Click like, and they'll go out more. It's a weird computer AI thing. But anyway, chapter 4 of Acts. Let's get started. Today is the last Monday of September. Next Monday is my birthday week. So I'll be eligible for Social Security. I don't know that I like the high def camera that much. I liked it when it was fuzzier and you couldn't see all the flaws and details. Okay, I guess that makes sense. We are flawed people, correct? Here we go. So this is chapter 4 of Acts, verse 1. And I really want to start taking us a little deeper. Maybe make it a little more focused, a little more concentrated, and have something that we can chew on all week long. Okay. Now, let me set this up. Peter just preaches his second sermon. So here's your homework. Go back and read chapter 3, and then you'll see what sets all this up. So there's a healing, there's a sermon, and you're about to see that it was quite the sermon. It was like a Billy Graham crusade. Okay, chapter 4, verse 1. While Peter and John were speaking to the people, the priests and the captain of the temple guard and the Sadducees came up to them. Now, the Sadducees and the Pharisees, they didn't really get along that well. So, for them to coalesce around this, and you'll get my take on it here in a minute, was interesting. But they're greatly disturbed that they were teaching the people and proclaiming in Jesus the resurrection of the dead. They seized Peter and John, and because it was evening, they put them in custody until the next day. But many who heard the message believed, and the number grew to be about 5,000. We could go on. There's lots of neat stuff there, but um, I think we're going to stop there because let's just talk about pushback. Understand the difference between what Peter and John are doing and and you talk about opposite, I mean, you've got um, how positive and negative attract on magnets. That's these guys. John and Peter are two totally opposite personality types. That's a whole nother lesson. But it's funny how people come together that you would never think, would match up. And I love it. That's just, amazing. All right, so they're doing their thing, and here come the priests and the captain of the temple guard and the Sadducees, and my question is, why are they against them? Why are they against people being healed and things? Because they had this was a cash machine for them. Understand, Peter and John are in the service of the Lord. These other guys are in the business of the Lord, of church, of temple, whatever you want to call it. And they have prestige in the community, and there's nothing worse than not being as popular as you once were or as you thought you were. This is very high school behavior. So also something that I don't know why it keeps surprising me, but when I'm doing something, whether it's on a team or it's in a work setting or it was with the government or what in big church set, you go to conferences and they want to be competitive when the first questions anybody asks is how many you got running at your church? I'm like, who cares? We're serving God. If it's 50 or 1,500, what does it matter? Um, So, there's all this posturing and measuring. Well, John and Peter are giving a very simple gospel. And we should not be surprised when even people who claim to be part of God's work don't like um, their spotlight being taken away. Um, the worst thing we can do, and that's another thing too. I mean, this goes back to like the Ten Commandments. Um, One of them is, "Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain." That's not using God's name as a cuss word, although that's bad. Um, it's using God's name flippantly and using God's name to promote self and stealing God's glory for your vanity. Getting up in front of people as a person of God, a man of God, and how the Pharisees would walk around all, whatever. And and then, wow, you're not really that person. You're doing it for your fame, to make your name famous, or to get attention, or to have people come up and say, "Wow, great job." That's not cool. So they're upset because the attention, the focus is no longer on them. It's now on Jesus. It's on John and Peter and that message. I don't know why I'm surprised when even people within uh, the church, not Quail Springs Baptist Church, but the church overall, totally reject the truth about serving the Lord, submitting to his authority, the posture of love, the countenance of beauty, all those things that we're supposed to dwell on, it tells us in Philippians. But this is just something I want you to see. We need to be ready for. Have discernment. What does the Bible say? Be wise as a serpent and innocent as a dove. So, look, hold our leaders accountable, including me, and let's make sure we're doing the right thing for the right reason, even ourselves. And look at the results. And the number of men grew to be about 5,000. Uh, that's pretty amazing. And that doesn't include their families. So with that, I think we'll end. Just know I love you. I don't always communicate my feelings that well, or what I'm trying to say or what I mean. So I know that about me. I hope these things are understandable, and I hope you feel like we're going deep. I don't want us to just skim the surface on anything that we do or that you hear from me. So um, just remember, it's Satan's going to attack at so many different levels and from so many different directions, but you and God are always an unbeatable combination because God can't be defeated. Okay, we will see you next week, and I hope you enjoyed that.